my name is Jillian, and the country I picked is Japan, and I will be talking about its monochronic culture and other polychronic cultures, and I will also be talking about some of Japan's culture practices. Monochronic cultures have a strong emphasis on order, punctuality, and task-focused discipline. Schedules are also taken very seriously, and they are expected to complete one job at a time rather than multitasking, and they also have a respect for structure and cleanliness for the workplace. And employees are expected to meet all deadlines and be on time. Some examples of monochronic countries would be the US, Canada, Sweden, or Norway. For being a monochronic country, Japan also has a huge appreciation for importance for their culture, which I will be talking more about in the future slides. Polychronic cultures, or the opposite of monochronic cultures, are very different. They are more focused on multitasking and they prioritize relationships over deadlines. And in these types of cultures, it is often okay to be late. Interruptions are also accepted. Some examples of a polychronic culture would be Mexico, India, or Philippines. If you have visited any of these cultures, you would know that both kinds are very friendly and welcoming. They just have a very different way of living and representing themselves. As a monochronic country, Japan is one of the safest countries in the world with incredibly low crime rates, and their public spaces are spotless. So when you go to the store or you go get something from anywhere, you carry around a backpack and you put all the trash in your backpack. You don't leave any on the ground, and the fees are very high if you leave any trash on the ground. And the drainage canals in Japan are so clean that koi fish live in the drainage canals. And since monochronic cultures emphasize order and structure, it indirectly leads to the maintaining cleaner environments. This is because of their task efficiency and completion. Cleanliness standards and practices like this are also seen in polychronic cultures, just in a very different way. So both are clean, but monochronic cultures tend to be cleaner than polychronic cultures. Since Japan is more task-oriented, they have more technological advances than some countries. They have bullet trains and they have vending machines that can produce hot meals, fresh produce, alcohol, and some even have live lobsters. When I was in Japan, I got this stuffed animal from a vending machine, which is really cute. And they also have toilets with heated seats, music, and deodorizer sprays that automatically come out of the toilet. And the cleanliness allows them to have these things because their hygiene levels are much more strict. For example, in India, ash and dirt was shown to be an effective way to wash your hands, but in a monochronic culture like Japan, that can be frowned upon. And since they are so different, it might be a huge shock to someone who is living in a polychronic culture to move to a monochronic culture. Japan is also seen as the most monochronic country for many reasons. It has a high degree of cultural homogeneity compared to other countries, but it is not entirely devoid of diversity. Like the US, which is also a monochronic country, there are tons of other cultures that have migrated here, but the Japanese culture would rather there be less immigrants so they can keep things more orderly and uniform and not have to teach new people all of their strict laws. Their culture also has a strong emphasis on group harmony and conformity, which can contribute to the perception of more uniform society than normal. This is also why Japan is very clean and has less criminal activity, and that is because of the strict immigration laws. Japan also has a ton of natural beauty, like cherry blossoms, and their water is very clear, so is their air. And the most famous site is Mount Fuji, and I put a picture so you could see. And they have major respect for everything that surrounds them. And polychronic cultures focus more on prioritizing social relationships and interactions than task completion and cleanliness. And that's why the water and pollution is a lot less. The water is cleaner and the pollution is less in Japan as opposed to countries like India because they are very strict about keeping things clean in Japan. Since culture is very important to Japan, one major culture that I thought I might share is sumo wrestling. It is a sport, but it is not only a sport, it's a lifestyle for those who practice it. They eat huge portions to help them gain weight, and they train every day. And sumo wrestlers are also known as gentle giants, and they are deeply respected among Japanese culture. And a little fun fact is the heaviest sumo wrestler was 645 pounds. That's all I have on my project for Japan and the monochronic and polychronic cultures. Thank you for listening.